Lamborghini unveiling the newest version of its best-selling SUV, and you can plug it in. For more on Lamborghini's new hybrid, we have Yahoo Finance's Pras, Subramanian. Pras.
Yeah, the Urus is going green. You can plug it in, but it's not just about the green elements and they said 80% less CO2 emissions. It's about horsepower and performance. Almost 800 horsepower, 40 miles of electric range, but also it's more about that extra oomph you get from electric power. And I spoke to Lamborghini CEO Stephan Winkelmann about this car and about whether or not they have a big EV plan, right? The question is, are hybrids pushing out those plans to not kind of pushing the EVs out of the picture? Here's what he had to say about that.
We live in the here and in the now, so it's a bit useless to ask what is going to happen in 5 or even more years. But what was difficult to be accepted maybe 5 years ago for a super sports car manufacturer like us, today is no matter, it's digested. So the hybrids are digested because we promise more performance and less CO2 emissions.
So he's talking about this recipe of hybrid performance that also gives you both the performance plus also the green elements of it. And he's saying that the buyers have sort of digested the fact that this is what we want. We want hybrids right now.
Interesting. And so what does the luxury market look like? We've been talking a lot lately about how the EV market has been waning, at least for now, and people want hybrids. Is that true on the luxury level also? Yeah,
I was a little surprised to hear that actually there's not a kind of taboo against a battery-powered car here, or a partially battery-powered car. This is a $260,000 car, and he said that it's sold out for the next year through 2025. So that's pretty high demand for a car that isn't not just your standard V8 kind of powered car.
Listen, if you spend $260,000 in a car and it doesn't have that oomph, obviously they have to figure out a way to, because hybrids do have that sort of stereotype that they don't have the same power that a traditional gas-powered car has. So if you're going to put that price tag on it, you better deliver that power, I guess.
It's got to sound good. It's got to make all the right sort of the vroom, the startup, and also the quiet, kind of cool electric drive. You want to have all that. So you mentioned the luxury consumer, yes. So whenever I get a chance, I like to speak to Stephan about the consumer there. It's a very high-end, well-heeled clientele, and usually they've been sort of reacting to high rates, and they believe it or not, they do have issues with stuff like that. But speaking of America, at least, he says that the American market is still pretty strong, and it's their top market. So here's what he'd say about that.
This is the largest market for us, the US market, by far. In comparison, the Chinese market is much smaller, even though the automotive market is bigger. When we speak about luxury, for us, we have to sell locally, but our cars, they have to fit in the same way in the entire world. So it's a very complex approach. We are not talking about fashion or accessories or watches, where you can have something locally and you can buy it wherever you want. So let's say that the effort we have to put into the development and the cost of the cars is by far higher and more complex than in other luxury businesses. And for us, I have to say that there is no weakness in the world.
So you kind of took a while to get to the point where you said there's no weakness in that world right now for the luxury consumer, but even for products that have to be so localized for each area, still very popular, still very strong, sales are strong here even for these sports cars.